Sure.
What are we going to talk about for an hour?
I could say you are leading this one, Chief.
Leading?
I'll take my cue from you.
Laila, we always do stuff together. Why today am I leading?
Because I will take my cue from you. One of us always leads, and then we take the cue from each other. We just never tell each other. That is the difference.
Okay.
Yes.
From a producer and a presenter.
A jack of all trades. You do everything. Mm-hmm.
AK is dead. I'm just joking.
Wow. You gotta start.
I told you haven't recorded.
He's already started.
Oh!
I started as well. We are live.
Okay.
What this guy?
Okay, no, let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first test run episode for what we call the UnSaid.
The UnSaid.
Yes.
Yeah.
And coming to you by two people who know a lot.
Yeah, we know too much.
Too much.
And we picked up that quite a lot of people want to hear what we have to say. And we are going to be unraveling, if I can put it like that.
You know what I can say to you is that we're always talking to people, always engaging with different types of people.
Yep.
And we're always sharing our mind.
Yep.
And this is the one opportunity where we decided, it's time we do our own thing.
Yep. Finally. Oh, it took us forever.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we don't want to say much, but what we want to tell you is that I'm Tebogo, Kotsi.
Mm-hmm. I'm Laila, Nnyane.
And this is my best friend.
This is my best friend.
And finally, you're going to get to hear what we've been accumulating all these years.
Yes.
You know, there's different type of stories that we come across. We talk about almost everything.
Everything, from the scary things we've seen on the road while we travel together, from the experiences about certain houses with certain things that we shouldn't be speaking about, from the secrets that women tell us that you would never hear from anybody else. They tell us. Like, my friend, it's been so interesting lately. Just people have just been coming up to me, asking me for advice and stuff like that. So it's just been piling up and piling up and piling up.
But when I can recall back in the days, especially when you used to have MedFM, you used to be the mother. Where everybody used to, all these teenagers used to dump their problems. But the nicest thing that I loved is that you attended to most of the problems and you came up with solutions for them.
Yes.
I remember so many incidents where hopefully you had that WhatsApp group, the one that used to drive us nuts. You sit in your room the whole entire day responding to messages, what's going on. And
even on Mixed as well.
Mixed
was a mess.
Yeah, those were the days.
Yeah. Those were the days. Yay! Yeah.
We did a lot. Come to think of it.
We've done a lot. We've
performed miracles.
There was a point where I hosted Casper in Your Vest and a boy was walking around with a butcher knife looking to kill someone. Those are just some highlights in our lives.
And the ghost we saw.
The shots in Botshabelo.
Oh, yeah.
Like speakers flying. We have so many stories. Yeah.
Politicians, politics,
oh my word,
corporate, you know,
money, sex, scandals, betrayals.
It's funny how the world revolves and you get to experience all these things and you share your knowledge and people are surprised. Oh, how did you know that? I'm like, guys, I mean, like, Malaysia. That's one topic that Malaysia.
Yeah.
When we got to see we can perform miracles.
Yeah, no. We are Malaysia. Those dogs. We are those top dogs.
So human trafficking is quite used to
drive. Yes.
It's something that we've been passionate about.
I've been very passionate about it.
Human trafficking,
it's
but it's
very
a very
scary.
Business.
Very scary, I'm not gonna lie. Not just the danger of it, but the emotions of it. It angers me. It really, really enrages me to such an extent that I can't handle my anger, and that just does not help anything, honestly speaking.
And what we experienced in 2017 with that, it wasn't nice.
No, it was not.
It wasn't nice
at all.
Especially when it's close to home.
Yeah.
And when you have to tell a story, you find people defending. And I remember there was one part where I was speaking to one of the colonels from the Hawks about that case, and they happened to mention a couple of politicians priests and teachers, CEOs that are actually involved in this thing. That's when I saw, and I remember that call when our victim made the call to say, hey, I'm not coming back home from what I see. Then I remember there was a bit on her head from what we got to discover.
Yep.
It was $220,000 on her head. So these are stories that we're going to be revealing, And hopefully I spoke to her. She said she's willing to speak. And it's time that she speaks.
Nice.
That's going to be a long one. I'm going to try and get the Minister of Roads, Fiki.
Okay.
He helped with this.
Oh, yes, he was the Minister of Police at that time.
And people were trying to come up with stuff, but
Yeah.
he played a major role
He did.
in making
He
sure
did.
that
He was a hero.
he was a hero. He
He really
rescued
was. Yeah.
a truckload of 6 girls from different countries.
Because a lot of girls don't have a similar story. A lot of girls never made it home.
Exactly. Some are still missing
Yeah.
even today. Today I got a video about a girl coming vacation in Bobuchabela. 13-year-old introduced to crystal meth.
Oh.
This guy keeps on sleeping with her. He says it's his girlfriend. 13-year-old, a 45-year-old guy. Society got to him. It was going on. I'll send you the stuff they just sent me. It doesn't look good. So these are things that we're going to be tackling. They're uncomfortable. We're going to be talking about the unsaid stories that you guys have. Even if you have your stories and you want to share them with us, and you want to be a guest, come through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Welcome.
Absolutely.
Because I want people to start speaking about what they went through. I remember the story. I don't know how we're going to tell this one. Hey. I don't know how we're going to tell this one. But guys, we're not here to expose people.
No.
Our podcast is not about exposing. It's all about educating.
Yeah.
It's about sharing the knowledge, sharing. Sometimes it's nice to listen to stories.
Yes, absolutely.
Like that guy who stole 36 million from Postnet. I wanna bring him in so that he can also talk about his story.
That would be a very interesting story to tell.
There's people who stole 36 million. There's people who stole 256 million.
Oh. Can you give me 6 million or 6 cents of it, please?
There's the Makufe issue.
There's so much drama.
Remember when Naval Hill used to have that satanic church and people used to fear, and then there was one time there was this raid, I remember, and they found a Bible chained, and there was blood and there was candles and we got to discover a couple of things about what's going on in Naval Hill, and that's when they were starting to build the stage. Around the stage, then they demolished the church. But you know what said? The foundation is still there.
The plot thickens.
So meaning the blood that flowed when sacrifices were done.
It's still there, yes. No, it will always be there.
That is why the restaurant is not working.
They knew what they were doing. Look, ultimately, what the show is about, it's basically having conversations that a lot of you are scared to have. Conversations about untold stories. There's so many untold stories just in our province, just in our city, Bloemfontein alone. Do you know what I mean? So we'll be covering that. It will be conversations that educate you, inform you, interest you, and you actually learn and grow something from that conversation. You get what I mean? So we're bringing it live and raw. You get, and we're not going to be vulgar. We're just going to be brutally honest. There's a difference. You get, and we're going to be brutally honest about some things because we find that a lot of people tend to lie to themselves. Let's be realistic about that. We are very good at lying to ourselves, guys. We are very good at that.
Remember my book that I'm still busy with? I'm still on chapter 5. At least if I can touch chapter 7.
Yeah.
I'm going to give them a snippet of the book later on.
Can't wait.
It's quite interesting because,
Is it that one with the title, My Wife is a...
Yeah, My Wife for a Tender.
Okay, sure.
So, The Chronicles of a Hustler.
This book has been many years loading. Many years loading. Mm-hmm.
It's amazing what goes on in the golf course.
True. As I said, the unsaid. The plot thickens everywhere. So nowhere is safe, basically. We're going to cover every scope, whether it's work, whether it's family, whether it's religion, whether it's relationship, whether it's your underwear, whether it's your excuses, whether it's your celebrities, whether it's your nobodies. whether it's a past person, whether it's a present person. We are going to cover everything. We are touching those unsaid conversations. You know why? Because society needs them. We need to stop lying to ourselves, guys. Society is a mess because we lie to ourselves. We need to start facing ourselves and being honest with ourselves. And that's why we're having these conversations. And would absolutely love it if you guys can join us. Send us your stories. We're also going to have anonymous guests as well. So if you want to be an anonymous guest and tell us your story and see how we can view it and discuss it and talk about it, you're also more than welcome to do that. Of course, we'll drop our socials on the video.
Yeah, but because, I was also thinking about... there's a story about one church that we're going to get into, and please guys don't take offense to it, but these are things, and that church, it's how it was developed, how the foundation was laid, and how criminal activities were happening, especially in that church. Today is one of the biggest churches, and Bangis packed a nerve on that.
Yeah,
one.
I remember that.
I
Wildfire.
You remember that one?
Yeah.
These are things that there are things that, not being a pastor's kid, that I know that goes on in the church, that I'm not happy about, that I also want to address.
Yep.
Because they tend to put this comforter over these whole stories and make things look...
The word is romanticize it.
Romanticize it.
Yes.
So it's time that we start coming to terms with what's happening in society. And I love what we once spoke about, Nnyane. It's amazing how the generation of now is coming to terms with reality. It's not like back in the days, our parents and our grandparents, when they used to tiptoe. I mean, like, look at the issue here, the race issue, where 1994 sharp, the government was given on to us black people. We were in power, we were celebrating, but honestly speaking, we didn't know what we were doing. And today we can see the ripple effects today, and that's why even we never got to deal with racial barriers that are still there. But we're about Truth Commission. Truth Commission was dealing about the bombings and who killed who. But they never actually got to say they never got to focus on how white people could heal and how black people could heal.
Exactly.
Because I still pick up horror. There's a truckload of hate amongst the two races.
Yes.
Different races, there's other issues also. I know with the Chinese, Nnyane, there was a person who was saying the Chinese, they see black people as monkeys, and it's better because the white people, when they just want to separate. I'm like, no, at the end of the day, a race issue, it's something that we need to tackle.
Absolutely.
And we need to be brutally honest.
Absolutely.
Incident December, Maso Sport.
Maso Sport.
And you saw how that young boy fought.
Sure.
It sparked the whole country.
Sure.
And things are gonna change, and we see, and also the issue of interracial relations. You're still getting people that are getting weird looks. Look,
a friend of mine married a white man and moved to Cape Town.
Oh yeah.
That's like how hectic it is here. Like, it's 2023. Come on, guys. What are we doing with our lives, eh?
Yeah, but they say a white man, once they taste...
Once you go black, you will never go back.
Go wrong. But now, what about the ladies that are actually going black?
Everyone is the same.
But in this situation, the white guys, they're actually trying to block them from going black.
Good
but
luck.
now, and then you look at it in this situation, that sex tourist situation that's happening in Mozambique, it has overflowed into South Africa now, whereby you're finding that there are international ladies that are in the...
Same thing in Zambia, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yes, Zambia as well.
So they come to our country, how do I put it?
They find exotic pleasures.
Yeah. I know somewhere in Sandton, there's a certain hotel, I'm not going to name it because they're not paying for sponsorship. There's a certain hotel where these ladies book. And then these guys, they know if they want to find these ladies, they would go and just sit in the lobby or the bar.
And they will get there.
And then these ladies will come and say, okay. But now, apparently they have to size them first.
Size them? How do you size them? That's interesting.
If you're a guy and you are looking for a white international lady to get freaky with you, you have to wear track pants.
Hey, but
dick print.
Yeah, but when are you giving out the secrets, Mus?
I'm not giving out the secret. These are things that we're going to talk about. And there's a guy who's prepared to talk about it. You know, it's even his business right now.
Okay.
You know, apparently, you know the whole cucumber prank?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they look at the size and they're like, we're now long term, come through. I mean, hotel, what. And we were all thinking, well, these are guys who would actually do that, because I know in Sandton, at the Sandton Square, girls would actually walk around scouting for guys that are actually sleeping in one of those expensive hotels. And these guys will come and just pick a girl and then they go up to the hotel, you know. And then there's the new age of prostitution. I don't want to call it, okay, let me not call it prostitution, because they said we mustn't classify it as prostitution. It's girls that have chosen to say, we want to live a champagne life for a certain fee. So basically, you pick up a girl at a club, you pay them a certain amount, he's your girlfriend for the day. You bonk. But now, out of all these things that's Alanzenan, you still find girls going to police or collaborating with certain corrupt policemen and trying to intimidate guys to actually pay a truckload of money. There's a friend of ours
similar happened,
who was in that situation, whereby now this girl was saying, you give me 20,000 rand or I'm gonna cry rape.
Yes.
You see such things, and they agreed.
Because their name, their reputation, their families, everybody finding out, they pay up, they profit out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then the new celebrity topic that I want us to look into it, the new era of suffering from stroke.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you just say the new era of suffering from stroke?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it that way.
Hectic.
Nowadays, if you're a celebrity and something happens to you, it's already stroke.
Yeah?
Haven't you noticed?
Hectic.
No, simple. Mampisha died from stroke. El Vovo the following week died from... he didn't die. He suffered stroke.
Okay.
And he's recovering.
Okay.
Lira is recovering.
Yeah, I'm worried about Lira.
But Lira is a hard worker. But you know, within the industry, when people talk about these things, you look at each other like,
something be fishy here.
You know, it's like back in the days, Kadi Era Tele, when, remember when HIV was still a subject that people wouldn't talk about.
When it was taboo, as we said, the UnSaid. Yeah.
And when you were sick, you get hidden in the house.
And then how a certain way, how otile you have it. Yeah.
There are certain realistic. I mean, I remember there was one artist that actually passed away from HIV. No, not HIV, AIDS. Who said, and he did admit, I'm gonna try and find that documentary online. I know it's there. And he was saying, and he contracted HIV and AIDS based on his lifestyle. Arabona, every show, I would have 3-4 girls unprotected.
He was going within.
And you know what is the saddest thing? He mentioned Velcom. But also that raises...
More files from Velcom.
Velcom used to be... I don't know what are the stats now, but the stats used to be crazy when it comes to HIV and AIDS. And he was actually literally saying, I might have contracted it from there because I was living recklessly. And then you look at the entertainment industry. Truth be told, it's the most reckless industry of all industries. If it's not alcohol abuse,
it's not regulated, period.
Abuse, and then there's financial abuse, there's
lifestyle,
women abuse. Basically, it's everything that you could find. You understand? So the saddest thing is that how do you tackle such things? How do you make people aware you can breach all the shenanigans? I mean, like, we know it. We're friends with a truckload of celebrities.
Yep.
And
we've seen and heard everything.
And these celebrities, these mpinchitses are we know the life that they live.
Yep.
And we try to say, guys, don't do it this way, do it that way. But there's nothing much that we can do. It's the choice. It's the life they choose.
Absolutely.
There's cases where we've heard of people just dropping and dying. And then there's a couple of... I hope they are willing to come through and speak about this thing. I know there's one parent who lost a child due to substance abuse. And at one funeral, he was very vocal about it, to say, I don't like substance abuse. I want to speak about it. It's something that I want to address, and actually that actually touched me to say it's high time we focus on. It's kind of we ignoring a child who's going through problems, and you can see and like they don't become okay.
Yeah.
You know, and it changes the whole entire lifestyle. I mean, like, and then I'm gonna move on to another topic that's gonna touch about now in Anagabuloi about the witchcraft.
Okay.
You know our families how they are. It's another topic for another day.
Right now, sterk.
So basically, it's you look at it in a sense. The generation of today, they don't mention boloi, tata, witchcraft, but check what they are practicing indirectly. Boloi, exactly. You know, girls they go around with small bottles. Guys they carry around small thingies, chanting. I heard a new thing about guys that when they want to go from a club, there's a muti that they put on their hands.
What the hell?
Then he has to touch you. Once he touches you, you fall for him. And these are stories that I'm being told by people that do them.
Hectic.
And when are you thinking, oh yes, how did this girl end up with this guy?
Yeah.
No, all he did is touch. Then magic happened. It's the same as girls.
Be careful, Lisu.
They chant.
The girls also do the same thing.
I was telling you a story about the semen and the underwear and the rolling and putting under.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
this I was told by a person who once did it.
And it worked.
Apparently it worked. But I gave it had shivers running down my spine.
Wild West out here.
One of my friends. So we're gonna have the most interesting season.
A lot of taboo conversations. Yeah.
Ghosts.
We once saw a ghost while we were flying down a highway in the northwest. We saw this in the Free State. Wasn't it after just before? Okay, I know, we were from the northwest.
We were from Mafike.
Sheba. And I think I was passing out. I was like, drowsy, and I'm like, And he's what? I'm like, and he looks at me and he keeps driving, and I'm like, wait, man. And I'm like, Papa. And this one just keeps looking at me to see if you know we're seeing the same thing. I'm like, Madak, are you seeing what I'm seeing? We have stories upon stories. There was even a guy, this poor soul. His face was twisted with his dreadlocks hanging out on the end.
Shit.
Just after we saw a dead body, guys, we have stories upon stories.
Yeah.
We even have stages where...
That's suicide. That was suicide.
Do you think?
That was suicide. Remember what the guy who hit him.
Yeah, I felt sorry for that guy. Eh?
He said,
he was delivering a brand new car.
Yeah.
Yes.
If I can recall that story quite well, he was driving just after the toll gate. So what he said, he was on the fast lane. And he just saw a person kneeling and praying. That's when he hit him. And if you can recall, this was a homeless person.
Because the Sunrail and the security, I can't remember if it was the cops or the Sunrail people said
guys.
They usually saw him on the road. Yes, on the
So basically, I think it was just a moment of he just gave up and he just decided to take his life. And he waited for the next car that is coming. I mean, like, you're doing 140 at that time. Guys, it's at night, you don't see.
He's driving. His wife is in the passenger seat. I'm in the back seat, right? I'm passed out. I sometimes think I have the worst luck ever. Literally, I got up just as the car is driving past his dead body. So literally, the first thing I see is, that image is burned in my memory. Oh, my word. You remember the time when we were driving from Paris and we passed a burning truck?
Oh, yeah.
After 5 people died after hitting a cow. That was intense.
Well, we had our own incident with a tire on the N1 after our Sentinel video.
Guys, this having pilots are what?
That's another thing. We've got stories after stories. I know everybody has stories to tell.
And we want to hear them as well.
Exactly. So we're gonna set up an email where you can drop and the page.
Yes, absolutely. We're gonna also have the YouTube channel as well up. So we'll definitely have email. We'll definitely have a YouTube channel. We'll also be live on our Facebooks as well. So you can also inbox us on our Facebook as well. We want to hear these conversations. I really want to hear them. There's quite a lot. And it's funny, like, it's like our souls are so aligned. Recently, like, literally just in the past 2 days, dude, you know how many people have been coming to me about counsel? Just yesterday, I was helping 4 people. What are their problems and their matatas? I even went live with one yesterday.
You know, as I said, it's not. But when means
how? Oh no! Yo, but when people are exhausted.
Check out the level of suicide.
Yeah, mental depression, mental illness.
And it's something that's
crazy.
That people, especially amongst the black communities, they don't want to talk about.
They don't want to talk about it. That's why we're having these podcasts. The unsaid, the taboo, the netitabo. People are lying to themselves.
You know what I love about my dad, especially nowadays. I don't know, Gary, he's moved on with millennium, but that man is open-minded to, basically I can talk to him about everything now.
I love that.
Compared to then. Now it's easy for him to give me a call and we talk about situation. Like we were talking about after my mom passed away, and he was telling me what his plans in life. And you are saying, look, my plans involve you and the kids and the wife. Wow. From there on, you guys will decide 1, 2, 3. And I'm like, no, man, you're still young, you've got a life. He's like, no.
That's what he wants to do.
I'm seeing other people that he knows that after their wives passed away, they will automatically move on. And we were talking about that topic as like, it's something that a father and a son can never actually talk about. But now
you were able to do it with
and
him.
He was comfortable with it.
Yeah.
How many fathers out there
are able to do that with their sons. And that's a very important topic as well.
Is.
Yes.
Yesterday, Tebogo brought his girlfriend for lunch. And I went and I bought them lunch sharp and they set the table. And I went and I sat Lebon and I was having a conversation with the both of them to say, you see, now you're introducing your girlfriend to us.
Yeah.
And I was saying she's welcome in the house. And
bear
in mind, Tebogo is only 16.
Yeah.
Tebogo is 16.
Yes.
So I'm giving them a lecture about, guys, have fun, you're still young, don't rush into sex, yada, 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 yada. So I left. Then later on when I got back home, I asked him, okay, I hope we didn't scare your girlfriend. She's like, no, she's so happy, says you guys are the coolest parents. Now she is more intrigued with the fact that I can have a conversation with Tebogo about sex,
everything, and he's free to do it. Yeah.
And I'm saying to her, Luena,
do the same.
Learn to be the same thing.
Yes.
Maybe your dad might be different, but one day he'll catch up. But if you can come to us.
Absolutely.
Because when I'm still young parents,
absolutely,
our kids are our friends.
I cannot begin to tell you the importance of that. Most of us, especially our generation, we didn't grow up with that. Honestly speaking, I remember one time I asked my mother, I was confused, right? Because my cousins kept going on and on about orgasm. And I didn't have a cooking clue what an orgasm is. And I was looking it up in the dictionary, and I'm looking in the dictionary, I'm like, what is this? And I couldn't make sense of it. I literally took my dictionary to go ask my mother, what does this mean? Because I was so frustrated, right? And I'm like, mother, please explain this to me. She's like, what are you talking about? And then I take the dictionary and I show it to her, right? Do you know this woman took this dictionary and hit me with it?
You see? Hence, there are those people. And the saddest thing is that there are people our age who still treat their kids like
the same.
Because it's what they know.
No, exactly. And we need to unlearn that. That's another very important topic we're going to have on this channel.
That is why you find the generation they are more rebellious and they don't care because they are not getting that love and understanding.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm actually raising with a couple of people to say, now I don't have a manual for raising my kids. But I become their friend. So that they're comfortable with everything. You
are basically the child you needed when you were a child. Because ultimately it's all about that. Everything in life, how you are, how you perceive things, how you project things, is literally deep-rooted from your inner child.
Sure.
How you were raised, how your relationship was with your parents, what they did to you, how they said things to you, how they treated you, how they said, I love you, how they hugged you, how they did not hug you. It's deeply rooted from that. Those are also topics we're also going to be touching on, because a lot of us are messed up today. Because of that. A lot of us are so messed up. A lot of us are in toxic relationships. A lot of us don't want to face ourselves. A lot of us, we keep hurting ourselves. Literally yesterday, that someone came up to me and I was advising him. This boy comes to me and he tells me his story about his relationship with this guy who they've been dating since 2020. And she tells me how this guy recently has some text, has some for attention. He's just ghosting him. Do you get what I mean? And I'm like, it's almost 3 years you're in this relationship and this guy's treating you like this. This guy obviously does not value you.
True.
This guy sees your desperation. That's all he sees. And you continuously show your desperation. Because one of the things he mentioned is that as a child, he grew up asna that lerato. Asafu that lerato by Batswadi. So what's the first thing he does when he's local from the Batswadi? The first thing he does is go find love.
True.
And what does he do in the wrong place? With a guy who also notices that this guy is doing this. Do you get what I mean? And obviously he's doing this to me. And I repeatedly keep telling him this. But you know what he keeps doing, Tebu? He keeps going back to the guy. I'm like, hey, it does not matter what the guy does. It is you. The problem is you. How you treat yourself reflects on how other people treat you. How about back to the guy? You get what I mean? That's another conversation we're going to have, because people also enjoy that drama. They love their drama. That's another problem we need to face and be honest about. People love their bloody drama.
I was coming to that
Yes,
point.
yo, guys.
People enjoy drama.
Yo, no, they really do, eh?
People,
guys.
And we know a truckload of people enjoy drama. Unnecessary.
I know, guys. Yo.
Unnecessary fella ho. That camera is wrong. Why?
Laila, close your shirt. Laila, comb your hair. Leave me alone.
Look at the drama that you caused the past 2 years.
Please, let's not start with my drama. I'm not ready for my drama yet.
No. But look at the drama that you caused. Look at the drama that I caused.
The drama I caused.
So basically, we've caused drama now. You went on and you decided to turn Bloom upside down, and people didn't believe what they saw and what they're hearing. And then now for asking a simple question, why if I'm 21 it became a problem?
We're actually problem children of the city.
We're asking basic, simple questions. We're not attacking people. Laila, we've been in the media industry for how long?
Yeah, no, hey.
We've been producing, we've been directing.
We are the ancient, we are the fossils of this industry.
But these are things that, we've met inspiring people in the media space that we can have conversation with, and people will be shocked what we get to, like a truckload of people,
dude,
you know. And I know one person that we can have a conversation with, and I know you're gonna go down like numb. You see, so it's one of those situations that it's time we get to share this knowledge, share these stories. People get to hear these stories. That's why people are gonna laugh at our podcast. They're gonna cry with our podcast.
They're gonna be pissed off at our podcast.
They're gonna be pissed off.
Yeah, they're gonna be sad. They're gonna be depressed. It's just gonna have all types of emotions. Just expect everything.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you haven't experienced an orgasm as a woman,
what the hell are you doing with your life? Come here, baby girl. I will teach you. Okay, Laila, calm down.
You taught me something about nails as a female.
What did I do?
That I didn't pay attention to.
What?
Teddy taught me something else also about the LGBT.
He also taught me about something about pleasing a woman. So, bestie, hey, fist pump when I bestie one. So women.
I recently learned about full gender transformation.
Hectic.
That I'm still getting answers to. Like, I wrote her down a truckload of questions. And I said to her, when you're ready, my friend.
We are having that interview.
And she looks beautiful.
She looks incredible. Oh.
For a mere fact that when you look at her and you think, oh shit, it was a he.
It was a he when they were born.
Here's the thing, that, and talking about transgenders, I've picked up that guys that are always problematic when it comes to gender issues, they are the ones that are actually more fantasizing about transgenders. Because I was talking to a friend of mine in Joburg, and he was saying to me, he's got this fantasy of making out with a transgender woman, and I'm like, how so? And he's like, have you seen these transgender women? I'm like, wow, not in Mzansi, dog. In Mzansi, you still get them with a beard. And he's like, no, and he shows me this page, he sends me this link, and I go through this link, and I'm seeing these Brazilian...
Brazil
Malaysian,
is like sterk with those ones.
Brazil is the number one.
Yeah, number
place.
one, yep.
They look like female, like Bono Kabais. And then one of our guys, and I need to convince this guy to come and retell the story. He was telling us the story, and it was the most funniest story, but I loved it, and I'm gonna beg him to come and tell it. He was once in Joburg, and they were out at a function, and they went out to a club, and once they got to a club, he bumped into this hot chick. Ended up actually making, and they decided to go to a hotel. Once they got to a hotel, and they were getting into their business, and he put his hand down her skirt, and he discovered an AK-47.
Yo!
I'm not gonna go into detail. I want him to come and tell what happened, because he gave me the full detail.
Interesting.
And then I asked him one question. I thought, now, when you guys were in the shower, what happened? And he's like, nothing happened, but with a smile. And I'm like, no, you are not gay. Trust me, you're not gay. We all know that. But what happened? And he's like, hey, Debs, hi, it was there. I'm like, what was there?
You know another topic we need to have, ne? These titles.
True.
These titles, it's another serious topic at some point that we need to have. Because you hear what you say, that he's not gay. A lot of people right now just disagreed with you. You get what I mean? To some other people, it's gay.
It's gay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to stop these titles, because these titles are also putting us in a box, which is also causing most of our problems and also depressing us as well.
True.
It's another topic we're going to also be having.
Definitely, we should. Like, I remember there was one time I was having a conversation, and I told you this, with my wife, and I was saying to her, why is it that when we guys go out, we want to do all these threesomes and what, all these crazy fantasies, but you can't do them, Kato? And I remember I was speaking to one of the guys that actually was saying to me, no, I can't do these things, my wife. Why? And it brought to that topic that...
Again, you lie to yourself.
Exactly. When I asked a couple of females to say, Sharp, you are in a relationship, what's your fantasy within your marriage? Oh, I was shocked.
Do you know one of the freakiest things that freaked me out that he found out from his research, right? I'm still traumatized about this, and I cannot wait for us to have this conversation, right? In one of our podcasts, right, we are going to be touching on women's fantasies that they are terrified or don't ever tell their partners or whoever, basically, that they keep deep down. Do you get what I mean? For example, women have rape fantasies.
True.
That's a reality.
Yeah, I heard that.
Women have rape fantasies. Women are turned on by getting raped. If you're not aware, like, you get what I mean? The other thing that freaked me out that I found out is that women are turned on by these, is transgender the correct word? These transgender women that are born like that. There are people that are born with both sexual organs that are both male and female. Are they called transgender? If I'm
no,
not?
there's the she-males or
some.
But
the correct term.
Have from.
I'll get the correct term and I'll put it up on
something.
screen. Yeah, we'll put it up on screen. The correct terminology for them, right? A lot of women apparently have fantasies about these people.
True.
I was mind-boggled.
About 60% of women. Okay, let me just focus on Mzansi. It's just.
Oh yeah, by the way, our research is local. We're not even going South African. We're not going international.
We bloom.
Our research is bloom-based. Crazy.
I know. As much as we like seeing women making out with other women, but majority have actually been intrigued by finding the transgenders to actually make out with them.
Yep.
And then when you ask them to say, okay, what fantasizes you, what makes you happy about that? It's like, no, for me, fact, she's half man, half woman. basically I can get both. Best of both worlds.
You see, again, the titles thing. Another depression. That's why women don't even talk about this.
And then,
because there's no title to this.
And then...
our society. We have a long way to go.
Now, come to think of it. When I say my 2000 reloaded, these young 19, 20-year-olds that are out on the streets, they don't care. Have you seen Banaba? Okay, let me not use the word they don't care. They are living their lives to their fullest capacity.
Okay.
They are not going to listen to anyone. They will do whatever they want to do. If they want to go to Joburg, they go to Joburg. If they want to go get into threesomes. Have you seen most of these crazy sex tapes that are coming out? They're always involving my 2000.
Yes.
Check the difference between the generational gap. I get the 70s generation was the middle wise generation. The most intelligent generation
was
is
us.
the 80s, which
Yes.
is us, and thank you for that.
Thanks. We appreciate it.
And the 90s, the 90s,
they're still
there.
I'm
They
a
fall a bit
2000.
under us.
Yeah.
2000
Yeah.
people, they don't have a speed limit.
Shaba. Yo, guys.
They are on board.
Guys.
What do they call that thing? Autobahn. No speed limit.
Oh, guys, but 2000.
And there's one that I want to bring. And I was having a conversation with her. And
Guys.
she's 22.
Yo.
She's turning 22 this year.
Yo, icon.
But, that girl. She's done things that you've never even thought of.
She's living her best life.
When I'm sorry, no, now I'm still thinking. She's like,
you don't know.
I'm like, what? Okay, tell me the weirdest thing that you have done. I was swinging with 6 guys.
Yeah? What?
She's 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. Reverse parking sensor. Kamo, you've got my 80s who are still negotiating. They are afraid to tell their partners their fantasies. My 2000 people, they are not afraid of
Shaba,
anything.
they go for it.
You walk
You
into
waste
a
their
mall,
time, they move on to the next one.
Can I get what I've run? Walk into the bathroom, family bathrooms. Here comes these 2 young kids coming out, skating and pulling down, and I'm like, look at the time, I'm like, but we are not that adventurous.
You are boring. You're so
I
boring.
know. Oh, and then they say, this is what I love. They say, no, after we are done with the daddies, they know they're gonna sleep and snore. How?
But you do.
Now I ask myself, a 50-year-old who's out with a 21-year-old, what are they saying to themselves when they snore? And they take videos and pictures. And
Evidence.
guys.
They are very good. Content is killing the youth.
And then another one that people don't understand that we're going to actually talk about, it's the Poppy Act. People are so confused about this whole Poppy Act and social media
hectically
and how
so.
it works. And people are just, like I saw it now, issue the AKA killing, whereby a picture was being floating around social media saying these are the suspects just after the shooting. And apparently these are just 2 guys who were sitting in a car who happened to be close by because trafficking never blocked. And we saw ministers also jumping onto that story. Yeah, these people must be prosecuted. And I'm like, that's a bit irrational.
What the?
These people can come back and actually sue.
Yes, they can.
Those people that are, because now society might react in a different way.
Absolutely.
Pow.
Yeah.
You killed AKA. Then
That's dangerous.
it's very dangerous. And also, I saw how politicians are quite sensitive when it comes to Facebook. They are quick to go and bash each other, but when society is bashing them for the truth, then they pull the whole Poppy Act, legal, what card. And if you are caught with your hand inside the cookie jar,
you were caught.
You were caught. And if the people call you out for that, why not?
Exactly.
Now you're gonna cry. I mean, like, for example, I remember when the saga, the bank statement came out, the president and the whole pala saga. No, I don't see what's the big fuss. The big fuss he was hiding money underneath my price. How many of them are hiding money underneath?
A lot of them.
But today we are being told that the president, he used, what I can say, especially when it comes to issue of crime, the same intelligence that he applied to track down those guys who stole the money from his farm, he must actually utilize it within the police services.
Yes.
But Minister Kirambo, another topic for another day.
Yeah, that's another, what should I say, volcano for another day. Like, seriously. But that's our show, guys. We're going to be running our podcast. We're going to be splitting it up. We're going to be making it interesting. Send us your messages. Tell us, talk to us. What is it on your shoulder that you feel you cannot say to anyone, that you tell to yourself? We'll be creating that anonymous email. And please also emphasize that you want to stay anonymous when you message us. We're going to be touching on every topic under the sun, and we're going to be standing up brave for you and seeing how we can actually help you and actually listen to you, because that's another problem we have as a society. We don't know how to listen to each other. We project ourselves onto other people's problems instead of actually sitting down and listening. There's nothing more painful than you trying to have advice and have somebody's ear and somebody help you, but that person is not even listening to you. True. All they are doing is telling you about them and what happened with them when that happened to them. No. Sometimes you just literally just want someone that's just going to listen to you.
That's it.
And we're going to also be doing that for you. So, welcome to the UnSaid. My name is Laila, Nnyane.
And I'm Tebogo, Kotsi. And before we go, I'd actually love to thank our first sponsor.
Hey!
The Hotel. With our first episode. And next week we'll be mentioning a truckload of things. And if you're out there and you're a company and you know us and you know we can push your brand,
do the things.
The table is empty. You can see,
fill it up.
You can fill it up. You've got a TV. You get ads running through. So no one can take it. So if you know,
at the end of the day, we're still entrepreneurs.
True. At the end of the day,
you're still business.
We're still gonna share our knowledge when it comes to that.
Yeah, as well.
No,
definitely.
We're still gonna touch on business. We're gonna touch on
everything.
Not just only the things. Like right now, people don't know much about how to register. People are still being scammed when it comes to registering companies.
You're joking.
For real, they've been charged Boma 1.6 2,000. It only takes
100 rand to
register company. These are things that we're gonna give you. Make it as easy. I'm gonna sound like the president. We're gonna get rid of the bureaucracy and the red tapes. I don't know why he said that.
That was a terrible impersonation, but okay.
No, but I can't impersonate. I can impersonate the other ones.
Okay, thank you. That's a wrap.
Yeah, we'll see you. How can they get hold of us?
We're gonna create that Gmail account, YouTube account. So on all the postings on our social medias, they will be on the captions and the information bars.
So without saying much, thank you for tuning in onto our trial first episode. Next week we'll be having a guest. We'll announce during the course of the week who will be our guest. I'm out. Now just signed out. I don't know how you're going to sign out.
Danke. You signed out.
Yeah, no, we did it. 45 minutes.